All right, welcome to a brand new deep dive. Today, we're locked onto the very latest signals emanating from the Trailblazers galaxy specifically. We're going to unpack the recently deployed Update 3, which hit on Wednesday, April 30th, 2025.
That's right. And this isn't just a minor patch, it's pretty significant, touches on some core systems, things I know many of you have been watching closely.
Absolutely.
So our aim today is really to get under the hood of these changes, understand what the devs were thinking, and well, what it all means for how you chart your course in Trailblazers.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Starting with something that's seen a pretty substantial rework. And it sounds like this was directly driven by player feedback, the colonization economies.
Yeah, seems the development team really took community input to heart here. They're aiming for more flexibility and ultimately a more rewarding system for your colonies. Boost that economic output.
More flexibility, boosted output, sounds good. The key seems to be these new automatic links between buildings.
Exactly. That's the core idea. Automatic links between your completed constructions within a system. It's a fundamental shift, really, moving away from micromanagement towards a more systemic way of building your economy.
So no more plotting every single tiny trade connection yourself.
Yeah.
That sounds like a relief for a lot of commanders, I bet. How do these automatic links actually, function?
Right. So essentially, these links let your supporting facilities, we're talking settlements, installations, hubs, that kind of thing.
Right.
They automatically contribute some of their economic output to any ports in the same system. Ports being, outposts, the big stations, Coriolis, Orbis, Acellus asteroid bases, planetary ports too.
Okay, so everything gets connected up.
Yeah, and this interconnectedness, it directly impacts commodity availability. Even shipyard stock and outfitting system-wide, it all feeds in.
That sounds like you could really streamline things.
Yeah.
Now, the update notes mention strong and weak links. What's the difference there?
Good question. So a strong link gives a bigger economic boost. These happen between a port and any facility that's like on or around the same local planet or moon.
Okay, close proximity.
Exactly. And strong links can also form between multiple ports if they're around the same body. Weak links, though, they connect ports with supporting facilities on different bodies, but still within the same star system. Less direct, weaker effect.
So physical location within the system is key. What if you've got, say, two space stations orbiting the same planet? How does it decide which gets the strong link from a moon base?
Right. There are rules. If you have multiple ports around the same body, the system prioritizes the link going to the port with the highest tier first.
Higher tier gets dibs. Makes sense.
Yep. And if the ports are the same tier, then it just goes to whichever one was built first. Simple build order.
Okay.
And there's a neat little cascade effect, too. Facilities on a planet link strongly to the planetary port, right? Then that planetary port passes those strong links up to any orbital ports around the same body. Using those same rules highest tier, then build order.
Okay, clever. So it all flows upwards, and you can have both strong and weak links running at the same time in one system.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And just to be clear, these links are only between facilities and ports, or between ports themselves. Facilities can't link directly to other facilities.
Gotcha. Facility to port or port to port.
Exactly. And another cool thing, if a port gets access to, say, a high-tech economy through a link from a facility, then high-tech commodities will start showing up proportionally for trade at that port.
Right, so the available goods actually reflect the linked economies. Now, what about existing colonies? I mean, for those of us with systems already built out, do we have to go back and manually set all this up? Sounds like a nightmare.
No, thankfully not. The devs thought of that. The update notes specifically say these links will be created retroactively for all existing colonized systems, happened during the update downtime.
Phew, okay, that's a huge relief.
So when you log back in, you should just see them. They're there. And the UI's been updated too. It shows your existing links and potential ones, which is great for planning.
Oh, nice. Visual feedback. That's always good. Okay, so that covers the basic linking, but you mentioned strong links have another layer, boosts and decreases based on the environment. This sounds like where it gets really interesting.
Yes, this is where colony location strategy really comes into play now. The environment matters much more. For example, agriculture economies, they get a boost on Earth-like worlds, terraformable bodies, anything with organics.
Naturally.
Put that farm on an icy body or a tidally locked world. Production goes down.
Okay, intuitive. What about other sectors? Like mining?
Extraction, yeah. Boosted by major or pristine resources, obviously. Also gets a boost from bodies with volcanism.
Ooh, volcanic mining bonus.
Yep. But it gets decreased if resources are low or depleted in the system. High-tech likes ammonia worlds, Earth likes, places with geologicals or organics. No listed decreases for high-tech, interestingly.
Resilient sector.
Seems so. Industrial and refinery. Boosted by major pristine resources, decreased by low depleted. Pretty straightforward. And tourism, well, tourism loves a lot of things.
Scenic views, I guess.
Pretty much. Boosted by ammonia worlds, black holes, Earth-likes, geologicals, organics, water worlds, white dwarfs, neutron stars, wide range. And again, no listed decreases for tourism.
Wow, okay. So choosing the right spot based on what's actually there, the resources, the geology, the star type, is crucial now for maximizing your output. Adds a real strategic layer.
Precisely. The example they gave, like a world with volcanism boosts extraction, but maybe not agriculture, that sums it up. It's about leveraging the natural advantages. So the key takeaway for you is really scout those systems before you build.
Definitely. Okay, another big change. Economy overrides. What's that about?
Right. So certain types of celestial bodies will now automatically override the standard colony economy option if you build there.
Override it. How so?
Well, say you build near a black hole, a neutron star, or a white dwarf. Your construction's economy automatically becomes high-tech and tourism. No choice. That's what it is.
Whoa. So the star itself dictates the economy.
In some cases, yeah. Around brown dwarfs and all other sort of standard star types, it defaults to military.
Okay. And planets.
Earth-likes are amazing. They get overrides for ag, high-tech, military, and tourism. Water worlds get ag and tourism. Ammonia worlds, high-tech and tourism. Gas giants become high-tech and industrial hubs.
What about rocky or metallic worlds?
High metal content and metal-rich. They override to extraction, industrial, and refinery. Plain rocky worlds focus on refinery. Icy bodies lean towards industrial.
And rings. Or other features.
If a body has rings, and this includes stars with asteroid belts, that adds an extraction override. If it has organics, you get agriculture and terraforming overrides. Geological activity adds extraction and industrial.
And these can stack, right? The notes mention that. So like a high metal content world with organics.
Exactly. That world would automatically have extraction from metal, agriculture from organics, and terraforming, also organics, economies available or boosted from the start. It really layers up the potential.
Wow, okay. That adds another level of planning.
Really got to look at the system map data carefully now.
Yeah, it encourages specializing your colonies based on what the planet actually offers. Maximize those returns.
Okay, let's talk population. That's tied to output, right? Sounds like some big changes there, too.
Yes, absolutely. Facility output is tied to population.
Yeah.
And the devs have, quote, significantly increased starting populations compared to the beta.
Good. Felt a bit slow before.
Right. And more importantly, the growth rate is now significantly faster and the population limit is significantly higher. So less waiting around, bigger potential.
So our colonies should feel more productive faster.
That's the idea. Now, overall capacity is still limited by the type and number of ports and facilities you build, obviously.
But how quickly they reach that potential and how high that potential is has been boosted. Growth happens weekly, follows a curve fast at first, then slows down as you approach the cap. Should mean much quicker setup for robust economies.
Excellent. Now, there were a couple of other smaller colonization notes. Brewer Corporation getting involved?
Yeah, a couple of interesting tidbits. Brewer Corp is now handling law and order around colonization ships and construction sites. A bit more security out there on the frontier.
Interesting. NPC patrols, maybe?
Could be. And on a lighter note, Brewer has started naming its colonization ships. So you might bump into the Starhopper or, I don't know, Colony McColony face.
Haha, let's hope not. Okay, let's shift gears, something a bit more visual. Port customization, finally.
Yes, this is cool. If you're an architect, docked at your own Coriolis, Acellus Orbis, asteroid base, or outpost, you'll find a new facility customization button in Station Services. Lets you apply paint jobs.
Awesome. Add a bit of personal flair to our stations. About time.
Definitely. Nice touch of personalization out there in the black.
Okay, moving on. Power play. Also seen some tweaks, especially around merits. Sounds like they want more pew-pew.
That seems to be the thrust, yeah. They're incentivizing offensive actions, things like taking unoccupied systems or actively undermining opponents.
Yeah.
You now get a plus 5% bonus to merits earned.
Plus 5% for offense.
Defensive actions, like reinforcing your own systems. That now gets a -5% penalty to merit gains.
Wow, -35. That's huge. That's definitely going to push people towards attacking rather than defending.
That's clearly the intention. The devs actually stated this is just the first of several planned changes to encourage more offense in power play.
Wonder what else they have planned could really shake things up. Any risk this makes it too hard for defensive players, though?
It's a valid point, something the community will be watching, I'm sure. But for now, the message is go on the attack. And they've updated the power play map panel to show this multiplier so you know what you're getting into.
Okay, visibility is good. Any other power play changes?
Yeah, a few things. Rare good merit rewards are back. They've been re-enabled.
Ah, good for traders.
And they've replaced escape pods as the ethos activity for several powers. Swap them for things that hopefully fit the power's theme better.
Like what?
Okay, so Arissa 11U Duval wants you selling commodities for big profits. Ailing Duval needs employee data and political data transferred, plus reboot missions and salvage. Edmund Mahan and Nikado Kane both focus on handing in salvage.
Okay.
Felicia Winters, sell mined resources, do aid in humanitarian missions. Yuri Grom, scan ships and wakes, but only in contested systems. And Prana Vental is back to selling rare goods.
Right, making the activities feel more appropriate for each power. Makes
Yeah.
sense. And exploration data. Any changes there?
Yep, cartographics and exobiology merits. The reward rate for both has been increased, so explorers can contribute more effectively now.
Good news for the explorers in power play.
Definitely. Also, those undermining reinforcement multipliers, they now show up in merit notifications and help screens. Just better clarity overall. Plus, some back-end stuff improvements to PowerPlay 2 Galaxy data transfer should be smoother.
Okay.
And PowerPlay system local ethos activities are now server-driven, which means they can change more dynamically based on what players are actually doing in those systems.
Ooh, reactive ethos.
Yeah.
Interesting. So the key takeaway for power play players is things are shifting towards offense, activities are more tailored, and the whole system might feel a bit more dynamic.
Exactly. Definitely a reason to maybe reevaluate your power play strategy, see how these changes affect things on the ground or, well, in space.
Right. Okay, finally, let's hit the bug fixes and the issue tracker. Always important. Looks like a decent list this time.
Indeed. They've tackled some persistent ones. Fixes for stuttering during general gameplay, that's a big one. Also disconnects when jumping.
Oh, thank goodness for that jumping fix.
Tell me about it. Let's see. Corsair mass lock factor corrected. Crash fix for plotting rights near permit lock systems. The Conquered cannon reloading bug is fixed. Gamma settings window getting stuck, fixed. And another Corsair one heat dissipation adjusted.
Good batch of fixes from the tracker. Any other general bug squashing?
Yep, quite a list. More Corsair stuff, side engine hit check, multiplayer audio, engine sound volume. Fixes for missing colonization contacts and construction points, making sure Alaster military counts towards military hubs.
Little things that add up.
Exactly. Planet ports should sell more commodity types now. Max commodity supplied to on-foot settlements adjusted small around 3, medium 5, large 7. Fixes for renaming constructions, incorrect images in the construction selector.
Keep them coming.
Orbital speed of ports around extreme stars reduced more realistic. Construction depot beacon launch locations adjusted. And a fix for construction sometimes being placed in the wrong part of rings. So yeah, pretty comprehensive sweep.
Sounds like it. Though they did mention one known issue still lurking.
Yes. Acknowledged issue where some construction depots or assets might have the wrong frame of reference. Basically, they could drift away and become undockable.
Oh, that's not ideal.
No, but they know about it, working on a fix for a future update. So be aware of that possibility for now.
Okay, good to know. So let's quickly wrap this up. Trailblazers Update 3, it's significant. Big overhaul to colonization economies, aiming for more flexibility, more output, more strategy with links and environment stuff.
Right. Big changes there.
Then we've got power play merits rejigged to really push offensive play. Port customization is finally here, paint your stations.
Yep, nice cosmetic addition.
And a whole raft of bug fixes, tackling some long-standing problems alongside lots of smaller tweaks.
Exactly. The main goals seem clear. Give you more meaningful control over colonies, make power play more dynamic and player-driven, and just generally smooth out the gameplay experience with those fixes.
So what does this mean for you commanders out there? Well, it definitely seems like a good time to maybe look at your colony plans again, or, finally start one.
For sure. Lots of new systems to experiment with.
And for power play folks, the game has changed, literally. Strategies will need adapting. Could see some real shifts in power soon. This update really invites you to experiment and adapt.
Absolutely. The way colony economies link up now with those environmental factors, huge potential for specialized, super productive systems if you plan it right.
Yeah.
And yeah, power play could get pretty volatile, pretty interesting. So the big takeaway for you is probably get in there, try the stuff out, see how it feels.
The galaxy is evolving once again. We'll definitely be watching to see how you all adapt to these new frontiers, what new strategies pop up. So yeah, jump in, check out the new colony mechanics, test the power play waters, maybe give your favorite Orbis a new paint job. Plenty to explore in Update 3.
Definitely a meaty update.
Well, that brings us to the end of this deep dive into Trailblazers Update 3. Thanks for joining us as we unpacked it all. Hopefully this gives you a good handle on what's changed and how it might affect your own adventures.
It's been a pleasure. Yeah, keep an eye on Galnet. That's the in-game news for any official follow-ups. And of course, the community forums will be buzzing, I'm sure.
Good point. And with that, we'll catch you next time for another in-depth exploration. Fly safe, Commanders.